Hello again, and welcome back to Kids Bible Stories. In this week's iTunes review, we want to give a very special thank you to Have You On Repeat and Bernie Burn Burn. Thank you so much for your wonderful reviews. If you would like to connect with us, ask us any questions, or help support us through our Patreon account, simply go to our website at kbspodcast.com. The link will also be in the episode notes. Our story today is called John, and this comes from John chapter 20, verses 19 through 31. Today, we are going to talk about our last person from our series, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and now John. Matthew, Mark, and Luke wrote about some of the same events. You can read their books and hear some of the same stories, but John's is different. John also calls himself the disciple who Jesus loved. He mentions this a few times in his writings. Now, I don't know how the other friends felt about this. Was John being a little bit boastful? I don't know, but I'm glad he was sure of Jesus' love for him. John's writings read like an eyewitness, like he was there, seeing it all happen for himself. Our story begins right around the time Jesus had died. But, everybody, did he stay that way? No, he rose again. But at that time, his friends did not understand all that had happened. Why had those people been so cruel to Jesus? Maybe his friends felt sad or scared and confused. They had been with Jesus, and now all of these things had happened. So now what? This is where our story begins. Let's jump right into one of John's stories he left us in the Bible. On the evening of that first day of the week, when some of Jesus' best friends were together, with the doors locked, for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side where he had been hurt. The friends were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. I'm sure they were hugging each other, hooting and hollering, full of joy and excitement that Jesus had risen. Here he was, right in front of them. Again, Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." And with that, he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive anyone's sins, their sins are forgiven. If you do not forgive them, they are not forgiven." Now Thomas, one of the 12 best friends, was not with them when Jesus came. Can you imagine being Thomas and missing out on that? How bummed would you be if you had gone to rake the leaves or been at Grammy's house and you missed it? So the other friends told him, Oh, we've seen the Lord. Thomas, you should have been there for real. No jokes or games. We saw Jesus. But Thomas said to them, "Unless I see the cuts in his hands and feel with my own finger where the scars were and put my hand in his wounds where those mean men hurt him, well, I won't believe." Psst. Thomas wants proof. When Jesus died, he had many horrible cuts, bruises, and boo-boos. Thomas didn't want to be tricked by someone who looked like Jesus. No one else would have had the same exact scratches and wounds like Jesus. So Thomas knew if he saw that and touched that, well then for him, he would believe. A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them this time. Even with the doors locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and touch my cuts. Stop doubting and believe." Thomas probably trembling with fear and joy all at once, said to him, My Lord and my God!" Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. But blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Jesus performed many other signs in the presence of his friends, which are not written in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. Well, that's it for our story today. But before we go, let's think about what we just learned. Did Thomas believe at first? No. Does he believe after Jesus shows himself to him? Yes, that's right. But does Jesus want us to believe even if we haven't seen him? Yes, he does. Remember, he says, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." What? That's us. Jesus wants us to know him. He isn't trying to play hide and seek with us so that we never find him. No, in fact, at the end of our Bible story, it says that some of the miracles and wonderful things he did, well, these were all written down in the Bible so that we may believe. He left us these stories because he wants us to know him. Sometimes it helps to think about it this way. Have you seen a kite fly? Maybe you've gone to the beach and seen them all lined up, flitting and fluttering in the air, their colorful tails trailing behind them. Or maybe you've seen a sailboat gliding through the blue water, its huge white sails helping it turn left and right. Or have you seen the trees swaying back and forth during a large storm or even on a clear blue day? Its large branches leaning and releasing swirls of leaves. What makes all of these things move? What keeps the kite in the sky, the sailboat pushing forward, or the trees sway? Say it out loud right now. That's right, the wind. But can you see the wind? No, you cannot. But you can see its effects, what it makes things do. We know the wind is there when we see the kite fly, the sailboat speed up, or the trees bend and bow. We can even feel it on our face on a windy day. We know it's there, yet we can't see it. This helps me because when I can't see Jesus, I do believe he is with me, just like he promised, and I can see the wonderful things he has done, just like the Bible has told me so. That's the end of our story today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. And, as always, bye for now.